Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys. I really appreciate the fact that you joined down to this day two. And this is the next section of the class. We have spoken about what the rich people use to grow their assets. We spoke about real estate, but we all know that real estate is really expensive and it needs a lot of money before you can get into it. Now, the coolest way to do this investment or begin to build an income generating asset is through the stock market. Why? The stock market after real estate is the oldest form of investment. I didn't start it. It's been in existence since the 17 something. So I didn't start it. And it has been one of the ways that wealthy people build wealth. And at the end of this class, you're going to see how you too can step by step start your investment journey in the stock market, start making profits, start building your asset, start planting your seed and letting it germinate through the stock market. I'm so glad that you are in this class. And let me just recap and introduce myself. My name is Gift Onyeka. I popularly called Financial Bestie. In the social media space, I have a working 8 years working experience in the corporate world, and in that time, I've had privilege to work with so many persons in the financial sector, those in the corporate sector, training and teaching people how to invest because my main targets are those in the 9 to 5 space, just like myself. I realized very early that you could actually build wealth with your salary. Your salary is a gift if you know how to plant it. Your salary is a seed if you are a good farmer. If you're not a good farmer, you're going to eat both your seed, the fruit, and everything, and you're not planting. Well, in my space of being in the corporate world, I've learned how to start investing. I've also taught a number of persons how to do this. I've had over 1,000 students that I've trained, I've consulted for people, I've helped people set up their investment portfolio, hold their hands, consult for them. And I'm so glad I've been able to achieve that. I've also been able to influence for some big fintech and financial institution. I'm also the host of the biggest finance event in Abuja. It's called the Money Hangout Abuja. Last year, we had an exciting time in November. We're going to have a repeat of it this year again in Abuja. So this is my open invitation. Please, if you're in Abuja, send me a DM immediately so you can be part of the Money Hangout, where we have a one-on-one section with other financial experts teaching you how you can start your financial journey. Generally talk about money opportunities you can get into both in the workspace because some persons stay in a particular system working year in year out. You're neither getting a new job, neither they're getting promoted. Is because you don't know a certain kind of way to position yourself, and that's what the money hanger does. It's not just about investment. It'll teach you how you can make more money for yourself. But most importantly, I'm on a mission to preach financial literacy and freedom to at least 1 billion. This is just a short term goal. We're going to increase this to a higher goal where it's make sure that people get the financial literacy they deserve and also the financial freedom that they deserve. And I'm so glad that you're in class today and we are doing this together. So, not to waste any of your time, I have consulted for so many persons who come back to say, Gifts, God bless you. God bless you. The day I met you was the day my life changed because I've been working in out. Sometimes I get to ask myself, where is the money? Where all this work I'm working, where is the money? This I have heard countless times. I can tell you because I consult for people. I do have a community as well where I share investment opportunities, where I recommend stocks for them to buy part time, where I also hold people's hand and help them start their investment journey even beyond just investing in the stock market. So I'm so excited, and this is going to be a wonderful ride. If you're ready, let's get into the class. So, what is stocks? Some of you have heard stocks, shares, equity, and so many fancy names that people call stocks. What is stocks? Stocks simply means ownership in a company. When you buy a stock, you are literally buying into the company. So let's take, for instance, let's bring this home. If you're in Nigeria, Dangote Cement to be a part of Dangote Cement. Dangote um went to list their company in the stock market, and it gave everybody the right, even if with 1,000 naira you buy Dangote Cement, automatically you become a co-owner of that company. Now let's have a very, very visual, because I want you to understand, I want you to follow through, and I want you to be able to start investing immediately after this class. Let's have a visual picture. Take, for instance, the stock market is as big as ShopRite. I want you to imagine how big ShopRite is. We have different sectors in ShopRite. We have the sectors for food. We have the sector for clothing. We have different shops, different stores. We have several companies inside ShopRite, right? Now, when you get into it, it can become overwhelming. But let's call ShopRite as a whole, the whole building, let's call it the stock market. That is how big the stock market is. Yes, with over 1,000 companies in that one building called the stock market. So if you walk into any shop, let's take for instance, you walk into a Mary Kay store and you say, okay, now in the Mary Kay store, they said, oh, anybody who buys a Mary Kay product for even at least 1,000 naira, you become a co-owner of this store. What that means is that any profit we make in this store as a whole, you as a shareholder, as a stock owner, you own part of that profit. That profit is shared with you, right? So now you have bought a portion of Mary Kay. Now for the men, let's say you walk into a TM Louis store and they say anybody who successfully buy a shirt from this store automatically becomes a co-owner of this store. So wherever our business is in the world and we are making profits, we are going to be sharing this profit with you, all because you came to buy a stock. You came to own a shares. You came to become a co-owner of this business. For those of you who love sneakers, you walk into where Skechers have their store and they say if you buy one box of Skechers, yes, you become a co-owner of the company. So whether their office that is in Lagos, in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, in the US, as far as you bought this box of Skechers, you now become a co-owner of this company. And any profits we are making, no, it doesn't matter where you are. You are in Maiduguri, you are in Castina, you are in Lagos, even if you are in the UK, you have been registered as a co-owner of the company. You see that this is why it is the easiest form of investment, because it doesn't limit you whether you are in a certain country or not in a certain country. You can become a co-owner, and this is where the big players play. This is where money is being exchanged. Have you ever wondered why this is not so talked about? Because this is where the rich play. This is where the rich play. And sometimes the value of some stocks could be as low as 500 naira, and the rich will accumulate so much of it. And when the value or the profit is made in that company, that is how they actually make their money work for them. They are not present in that company. They go into this particular company, they buy its stocks. They go to another company that are doing well, they buy its stocks. They go to another. Sometimes they are invested into over 50, 100 companies. And when these companies begin to roll out profit, a part of it is given to them. And that is how your money works for you, even when you are not involved. I'm so glad, I'm so excited that you are in this class, because this is an eye opener, and I'm going to ensure that before the end of this class or by the end of this class, you can comfortably begin to buy stocks for yourself. Now, this is one thing you need to know. Now you've understood what stocks is, right? Is ownership. It means once you buy any stock, you are owning the stock, you are owning the company. When the company makes profit, you also make profit. Is that understood? Now let's keep going. Let's keep going. If you're understanding this, please drop it in the comment section. Let me know what you're learning. Let me know that you're following. Let me know that you're excited. You understand. You've been hearing about stocks, the stock market, and nobody is explaining to you. I'm glad you are in this class. So before we talk about this big building called the stock markets that looks like ShopRite, let's understand the type of stocks that we have. Now, in the stock markets, there are two type of stocks. We call one the growth stocks and the other one the blue chip stocks. Now, what are growth stocks? Growth stocks are those companies that are still growing, right? They are still growing, like that phase where they are still growing. So whatever profits they make, because they are not yet there, they reinvest the whole amount into the company. And then how you make money here is that the value of the stock increase. So let's go back to, we went into Skechers and we bought one sneakers, and they said that one sneakers was 5,000 naira, right? And then now you bought 10 of it because you want to become a co-owner. So you own 10 shares in Sketches, right? Or let's use Nike. Yes, it's a global brand, Nike, right? So you buy it, you buy 10 boxes and you have it. Now in 1 or 2 months, they come and tell you that, oh, the value of that one box that you bought is no longer 5,000 naira, it has gone to 10,000 naira. What happens? It means that if you go to sell one of those your Nike boxes, you are now going to make extra 5,000 naira on it. That's because it is a growth company. It is still growing. They are still expanding. They don't share profit. Now let's come to blue chip companies. Blue chip companies are the companies that are already big, they're already stable, they're already reliable, and they pay dividends. These ones are called industry leaders. On the global scene, we have brands like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is practically everywhere. They've grown their brand over 50 years. There's no store you get into, you will not see Coca-Cola. They are already established and they are not, I think every part of the world we have Coca-Cola already. So it's not as if they're trying to get into the market to expand, to get people to know about them. They are already established. So that's why we call them blue chip stocks. They are companies that are already established. In Nigeria, we're looking at MTN. Dangote cement is already established in Nigeria. It's one of the best cements. It's beating every other cement, and we you can use this for a long-term safer. There are people who prefer safe investment. These are the kind of companies. So anytime you get into the stock market and you want to buy a stock, the first question you ask yourself, what do I want from this? Is it value appreciation or is it dividend paying? I hope you understand that. Yeah, so let's keep going. Now, how do you earn from stocks? There are two ways to earn from stocks, which I had previously explained, but let's bring it to life more. The first one is dividends, right? Dividends is the cash that companies give back to their investors, like profits, right? They give it back to their investors. Thank you for investing with us. This year, we made 1 million naira profit. So we're going to share it with all our investors depending on the amount of shares you have with us. So some people can have comfortably used this system as a system that pays them rent, that pays them salary monthly, because there's a way you program your investment portfolio that it you begin to get dividends monthly. Yes. So the second way is by value appreciation. When the price of stock goes up over time, you can sell it for profit, right? Sometimes there are companies that the value they pay you both dividends and also value increase. It's not all companies that do this, but some companies, though they are still growing, but they also pay dividends. Do you get that? So let's see example. So when you buy Apple and you bought it for $100, and let's take for instance that after 3 months or 6 months, you come back to check your stock portfolio and you see that Apple stock has risen from $100 to $160. And then that means you have $60 per each share that you have in Apple stocks. You can sell, you can take away the $60, you can reinvest it, you can do whatever you want to do with it. This is exactly how people make money in the stock market. So you've been hearing about stocks, investing in stocks. It is nothing complicated actually. It is very simple. You buy into a company that you believe in, and then you watch it either grow, appreciate in value, or they pay you dividends, depending on the one that they do. So let's take a little example. I have a graphics here or a picture here that shows companies. Analysis was done between January and June of 2025. Like showing you if you had invested in some of these companies, just imagine that you had the knowledge before now and you invested in these companies. Let's take a look at what people who invested in these companies from January 2025 till June 2025, so the time of this video, had made. So these are the top 19 companies. As of January 3rd, 2025, Better Glass, one shares of this company was sold for 64 naira. As at 30th of June, the value of that one stock that was sold for 640 naira, 64 naira, had gotten to 333 naira. Somebody shout power. Guys, this is a massive increase. Now, take for instance that you learned about stock investment and you invested in this just 100K in January, you would have had 514 naira as at June. Imagine those that invested 1 million naira in this particular company, they have return of over 4 million naira in total, which is 5.15 million. Those who invested 10 million have 51 million in return. Guys, this is why I say this is where the wealthy multiplies their money. This is not addition. This is not one plus one. This is not two plus two. This is times. This is times. But how can you get into it with the right knowledge? With the right knowledge. Now let's look at another stocks. Vital Foam, as at January 3rd, was trading for 24 naira. Just 24 naira. 24 naira. Imagine you learned about stock investment and you were opportune to buy just 100K or 100K of this amount of these stocks. Your 100K would have given you 303,000 naira as at the time of this report in June. Now let's look at if you invested a million naira, it will give you 3.3 million naira. Let's say 3 million naira. If you invested 10 million naira, it would have given you 30 cool million naira. And those that will invested 100 million have over 300 million naira. Hey, hey, this is why they say ignorance is a disease. My people perish because of lack of knowledge. Imagine you had this knowledge. Imagine you had this information. Imagine you knew about stocks and you have started investing in stocks. Imagine you have set up a system that, oh, every month I'm investing 50,000 naira or I'm investing 100,000 naira. Just imagine the jackpot that you would have hit by now. And trust me, let's say, for instance, you have your investment plan set up 100,000 naira every month. So you must have invested for from January to this time, you must have invest to June, you must have invested 500,000 naira if you're doing 100K every month, or 250,000 if you. So that means this money here we are saying is will even be small change for you. My God, my God, my God, my God. I'm so excited that you're in this class because if you get the testimony that my students are sharing from just investing in stocks and the prayer that they pray for me every day. Oh, good, good. I'm so glad you're in this class. Now let's look at dividends, right? Some persons always talk about dividends. Dividends. This is one of the things I hear every time. Is this stock going to pay me dividends? Is this stock going to pay me dividends? Is this stock going to pay me dividends? Let's see what dividends have done for some people. This is Jim Ovie. He received a whooping sum of 25.4 billion naira. Billion from Zenith Bank dividends. It's not like he has sold the stocks. So this is dividends paid to him. What again did I say dividends is? Dividends is the profit companies share with their investors. Guess what? He's a 9 to 5. This tweets, I'm sure most of you know this Tunde Omotoye. He said there is 9 to 5 and then there is 9 to 5. Some of you that are collecting salary every month, you don't know that you are sitting on a gold mine. Some people who are doing business don't even see the amount you collect as salary as profit at the end of the month. So stop letting people tell you that your salary is not enough. Okay, again, you cannot become wealthy through salary is a lie. If you have the right information, if you have the right information, you will build wealth with that salary that you think is not enough. You will start your investment journey with that salary you think is not enough. If other people could do it, people in my community, I tell you, some people 2,000, some 1,000. I'm just excited that they have started because I remember when I was in that position, when I didn't have so much, mine was 10,000 naira. And as I learned more, I kept expanding. And there's this thing I have realized that investment does for you, right? Because you see other people making so much money, it just expands your mind that you need to do more. And once your mind, your spirit has been moved that you need more, opportunities will begin to come your way, opportunities to get more money, ideas that will create more money for you will begin to come your way. And that was my story, because it was until I started investing that I started realizing that, man, this work is not enough, this salary is not enough. When I started budgeting, in fact, budgeting opened my eyes to it, because I was thinking I was a big girl. Oh, I just removed a certain amount, and then I never took record of how much I was actually spending, both on food, transport, house rent, and all of that. But when I started investing, and because I made it mandatory, that was when I realized that this money is not enough. For this money is not enough. It expanded my mind. It stretched me. That's one of the things I want you to have at the end of this class. So let's keep going. Let's talk about dividends and value appreciation. Which should you go for? Should you look at just, oh, let me go invest in dividend stocks, or let me just go invest in value appreciation stocks? Dividend stocks are good. It brings steady income, usually sometimes quarterly, sometimes monthly, and sometimes yearly. They are perfect for those who want consistent cash flow. So you need to understand, what is my goal for this investment? Why value appreciation on the other side? The value, the stock itself becomes more valuable over time, which is more for long-term investment. So combining both is a great tool. Doing only one is a great tool. So you need to understand, what do you really want from your stock investment? Do you get it? So I've explained to you what stocks is. I've tried giving you explanation of the stock market and how, what is expected, how you make money from the stock market. But let's understand something, right? Some of you, like I said, you are always pushed or lured into, or easily attracted to, get rich quick scheme. The stock market is not somewhere you get into wanting to do kalu. Please, let's get that straight, right? It is where you build long lasting investment, long lasting assets, long lasting. Do you know that those who invested money in, what do they call it, in stocks like Apple, when Apple came out, right, they were not investing, most of them were not investing with the short term in mind, because they understood um what stock markets can do. But those who invested with long time, let me give you a simple investment, a simple analogy, right? If you invested, let's say, $1,000, because at the time, when Apple was launched, I'm sure $1,000 wasn't much in Nigeria, or $100 wasn't much in Nigeria, right? Or probably some of you might be listening to this class, maybe in this classroom outside Nigeria. So if you invested $100, let's even say $1,000. Let's be fair and say $1,000 when Apple launched. Yes, how much will you have today? So for those who invested, this is a long time ago, right? It's over, like, let's say 20 years or more. That's Apple was launched. Apple was actually launched in 1980. So if peradventure your parents knew about stocks in 1980 and they invested just a hundred, no, not say 100, because 100 was small money, $1,000 as at that time, guess how much you will have today? Hey, My God, my God, my God. Guess how much you will have today? You will have over $228,000. $228,000 from just one investment. Now imagine that you started doing a recurring investment from that time. Imagine you started doing a recurring investment from that time. This is why I tell you that when I consult for some of the people in my investment community, and we sit down, we say, okay, what are you looking at? How long are you looking at before you pull out this money? So please, it is not a get rich quick scheme. It's not something that you do today, tomorrow you're looking for quick gains. No, it's a wealth generating asset. I want you to look at it this way, right? That today you are a farmer, you are planting, you are when people are planting, right? If you've been to the farm, you realize that when you are farming, in your farming season, you are bending, you are having back in, you are holding yourself back from the enjoyment, the pleasure of sitting at home, of hanging out with friends. You are in the farm, you are tilling the ground, you are bending, you're sowing, it's not a good time because you are stressing yourself out. That is how it is when you want to build wealth. Please, let's come off this attitude of thinking that we can just blow. Yeah, there are systems that could blow you overnight, but not every system. And most systems that will last, they don't blow people overnight. Except you have learned the game for a long time. Not you that is a beginner. You want to start making millions all of a sudden. You have to master stocks. You have to master how to do this in the stock market. So let's get into it. Why should you invest in stocks? Stock historically has outperformed inflation and saving accounts, which is very true because you cannot actually become wealthy by saving money. Let nobody deceive you. Saving your money, you are actually giving the bank your money for them to go and also invest. What do you think they do with your money? It sits in the bank? No, they either loan it out or people will pay them with interest, or they have a sector where they have experts that invest in stocks, that invest in bonds. They actually invest your money, sweetheart. So why don't you learn to play like them instead of giving them your money and at the end of the day it comes out with charges, one charges or the other, and you get nothing from it? Why don't you do what they are doing, which is investing? It also helps you to build long term wealth and financial freedom. That's the reason for this class. That is the reason for this class. For you to build a long term wealth and also your financial freedom. The stock market can help you achieve that if you know the right thing to do. And with the things I've told you so far, you should be able to have picked the right things. I've been saying it here, the right one to go. Are you going for dividend stocks? Are you going for value appreciation stocks? I'm sure at the end of this class, you'll be able to do this by yourself. They also allow you to own a piece of companies you already use daily. MTN for calls, Apple for phones, Nestle, Milo, these companies that you use every day that other people are also using. That means they are making money. That means the stock will also make money. Now, the thing is that you need to start early. The earlier you start, the more money you're going to grow through compound interest. What's compound interest? I have explained compound interest before. Now you invest 100,000 naira this month, and then let's take for instance, it made 20% annually. At the end of this year, you have 120,000 naira. Next year, you're not just investing 100,000 naira again, you are investing 120,000 naira. So that 120,000 naira still gives you another 20%, and that's how the money keeps growing. So your money makes money, makes more money, which becomes the first child. That child plus, let's take for instance, it made 20% annually. At the end of this year, you have 120,000 naira. Next year, you're not just investing 100,000 naira again, you are investing 120,000 naira. So that 120,000 naira still gives you another 20%, and that's how the money keeps growing. So your money makes money, makes more money, which becomes the first child. That child plus the income makes grandchildren. Grandchildren, you have your money, the child, the grandchild, all reinvested again, making you your money, the child, the grandchildren, plus its great grandchildren. And that's how the money expands. Like I said, if you started investing today in a system that will pay you just at least 20% annually, you can set up a system for yourself that by the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you are retiring to over billions. This is you that is arguing about buying stocks today, but consistency. Sometimes 20,000, sometimes 30,000, sometimes 40,000. I don't preach about people, going into investment and begin to live a rigid life. No, I will practically show you how you can do this and you will still live a comfortable life. Nobody will even know that secretly you are sewing. So by the time you retire or you get to a certain age, people are asking you, how did you get here? They didn't see you coming. Yes, you tell them that you once met a coach, financial bestie that opened your eyes to the possibilities in investing, no matter how small you start your investment journey, right? So it is a function of decision, not just knowledge. You could hear all these things I'm saying today, and if you don't start, nothing is going to happen. Your situation is not going to change. You're just going to be living the poverty life that you're living. But you can make a decision today to start. So, how do you pick the best stocks? I know you're excited, and I'm already excited as well. This is what you need when you're picking any stock. First, you look at the company track record, their consistent growth, their stable profit. You do all of those analysis. You check if they pay dividends or if they are if they are growth stocks, and you decide. You look at the industry that they are in. You look, and then that will help you make a decision on the stock that you want to invest, right? That will help you make a decision whether you should buy into particular stock. You also need to look at the people that are behind the company. Is it a company that is going to last long? Is it a company that is going to fizzle out? The people behind it, are they great minds? Do they have a track record of doing good in business? These are some of the things that you need to look at when picking a stock. I think with the information I've given you, you can actually go out there and make the right decision to pick a stock. So today we have learned the basic of stocks. It is not as hard as people explain it to be. It's something very simple. It's where money is exchanged. You buy into a company and then the company begins to trade with your money, right? They expand their business with your money so that they can make profits. And in that profit is either they are sharing the profits with you or they are making the value of the stock to increase because of the expansion of the business. The value of they now make it that anybody who wants to come in and own a shares, the value has gone from 100 naira to 1,000 naira. So you who bought when it was 100 naira, you have over 900 naira profit, and that's how people make money soon in the stock market. So this is your key takeaway from this class. Knowledge is not enough. You need to start, and you need to start now. Now, this is the gap that I see in when most people attend my free class. So people stop at awareness, and that's why they stay financially stuck. What you actually need is guidance, structure, and a system. I have seen this over time. So people attend my free class, they get the knowledge, they send me good reviews after the class, and that's where it ends. So I kept asking myself, what can I do to push these people to get them get started? Because listening to this alone, getting fired up is not going to solve the problem. You need to start. I created something which is a community and also a guide beyond just the free class. The next thing for you to do, which is how do you start? How do you start? Yes, you heard how exciting it is to invest in the stock market. You've seen people, if you had invested 100,000 naira in fine glass as a January, just only 100,000 naira, you didn't invest again, you will be sitting over 500. And it is not just those stocks. There are several stocks, both global stocks that have even outperformed the one that you have seen. So I've put together how can you start. We can't cover everything in this class, but I've put together a stock and ETF made easy masterclass where I will show you proven step-by-step systems to help you. And at the end of the masterclass, these are the things you will go home with. You will know how to choose the right stocks with confidence. That one I can beat my chest for it. because there's so much analytical tools, there's so much I'm going to teach you that you cannot make mistake. Sometimes the most message I see people send to me is after they bought a stock and it's not doing what they send me message. Somebody sent me a message just before I started this recording that she's tired. I was wondering, I asked her, did you get any knowledge before you start? She said no, she just saw a video somewhere on the internet, so she decides to. I said no. The first step is getting the right knowledge. You don't play, you don't play Ludo with your money. This is money we're talking about. And then if you want to build something substantial, something that is long lasting, you have to pay the price. You have to sit down and learn about it. Some of us are, we have great temperament, like, right? Some people are sanguines. They're very excited about every new things they hear. They just jump into it. They don't do further research. Why some persons are melancholy, they take their time, they learn about these things, and you see them when they come out, they are doing well. You see somebody who is a drummer, right? Some person and another person is, if you listen to how the person is playing the drums, you're like, wow, where in heaven did this person learn this? Most times they are melancholies before they come out to perform. They take their time to learn very well. Please don't just be excited about it. Learn before you put your money down. At the end of the class, you also be able to build income generating portfolio. So you are going to create a portfolio by yourself. In the next 3 weeks, you are able to do this by yourself. You who didn't know anything about stocks, you're going to become so good that in just 3 weeks, you have built your investment portfolio. This class will also help you avoid costly mistakes that beginners make that make them lose huge money. I feel so pained when sometimes some persons send me DM and they say, please, can you help me? And then I realized that, oh, they've once been in my free class, but they felt they could just do it on their own. Yes, you can actually want to do it on your own, but it's going to cost you at the long run. So why don't you just become a part of something? Be in a community. I have a community. I've been mentioning my community. I have a community where I recommend stocks part time. And before I recommend it, I must have done some financial analysis on it. And I also teach you in the Stock and ETF Make Easy Masterclass how you can do it by yourself. And then at the end of the class as well, you'll be able to grow a wealth generating assets and retire early to billions, not pension alone. Because I'm going to open your eyes to assets, how you can fine tune your assets to be able to just all you need is just to continue investing into it, and then at the long run, when you want to retire, you retire to a good amount. You retire to a system where you can be living the good life. You can travel out of the country, you can chill with the big boys, you can begin to live like when people think that, oh, at retirement you should be resting. No, that is when you are balling. So now, what will you get inside? Okay, so okay, this is okay. No, part of masterclass. For the stock and ETF makers, this is what you're going to be getting, right? A proven step-by-step system that will help you how to choose the right stocks with confidence, build income um generating portfolio stocks, ETFs, index funds. I've been mentioning, that we haven't learned about ETF, we haven't learned about index funds. It's not only stocks that are in the stock market, there are other things in the stock market that you need to know about, and you choose the one that is best for what you want to achieve. You also avoid costly mistakes. I'll show you how to pick the right investments apps or investment houses to start your investments. You grow your wealth consistently, you know when to buy, you know when to sell. I also give you blueprints to start immediately. You're starting your investment journey. Within the next 3 weeks, you're starting your investment journey. I also give you tools to pick winning stocks. This one is my bestseller. You see, this speaking of winning stocks, it is my bestseller. How do you think I come up with, for those in my comments, how do you think I come up with the winning stocks for them? Because I know something. I'm telling you, I paid good money to learn this particular one. Tools to picking great stocks. I'm going to give you um, analytical tools used by hedge funds. That is how they pick. That's what make them not to pick wrong stocks. I'm going to show you that in the masterclass. I'm going to give it to you. You're going to have this access to it by yourself in the masterclass. And this class is actually recorded already. The class we're talking about is recorded. So at your own space and time, you can watch it, you can listen to it, you can implement, and then you have a community as well that is support you. You can at any point come back where you think you are struggling, ask questions. There are other people in the community, there are also experts in the community who are ready to guide you and tell you what exactly to do. So imagine this. You are no more confused about where to start. You're no more scared of losing your money. This is not CBEX. This is not MMM. Instead, you have a portfolio that is working for you even when you sleep. This is how the rich operate. This is how the rich operate. Instead of hustling, so you have business, you have work, you have this one. Just send your money to work in the right systems. When they are saying you cannot have one stream of income, this is what you're talking about. In the stock market, you can give your money to 7 companies that are doing well and let them be making for money for you while you sleep. This free class is an eye opener. Trust me, you can go and start from the information that I've shared so far. You can go and start by your own. That's true. I've given you information that I've told you what to check out for. You can go and start by your own. Or you can also start today or come into the community. Let's help you, hold your hands when you ask questions, how you can do it. Whenever you're confused, you can have a community to fall back to. And then one of the things I've realized that community does for people, right, is that when one person posts each of their testimony or the stock that they invested in, which maybe I might have recommended they bought by themselves, is doing well. Hey, everybody wakes up. Oh my God, I've not even finished my own class. Oh my God. I just remembered I have to I wanted to invest last week. I forgot. That's what it you are in like minds with like minds. They say if you want to succeed in life, check the people that are in your company, people that you're associating with, and they will know where you are headed to. These are some of the feedbacks from my classes. Gladys said, it's a great decision joining this course. The videos, classes were super packed. Oh no, that's one thing I do. I'm going to give you more than the value you, you paid for. So I had she had zero knowledge of stocks and shares before joining the class, but now I'm well informed and I'm confident to invest and start making dollars based on the information gotten. Thank you so much, our financial bestie. And then we have another person who said, good day, ma. Oh, this Pamela. Good day, ma. Honestly speaking, you are indeed the best. Sweet to talk and always giving your student the best. So happy I came across you, ma. Thank you. Thank you. And then we have, okay, this was a student who invested and he got dividends. Yes, he got dividends on the stocks that he invested. There's so many things I want to say, but we've already spent so much time on this video. So thank you so much for listening. I'm going to share. I have a gift for you. If you watched video 1, you watched video 2, I have a gift for you, a special gift just for you who have watched to the end of this class. Trust me, and this gift is going to be worth it. I'm going to be sharing that in the group, in the WhatsApp group, right? So you just get ready by, let's say, I'm going to drop the time where I will share this gift, and I hope you will be part of it. You will take opportunity of it. I just want to thank you so much for listening. Please don't just stop at listening. Start putting these things into practice. The stock market is a place where you can build wealth, and if you start today, that will be the best decision. And please, if you also benefited something from this class, drop a review for me. Send me a message. Let me know how excited you are. Let me know if you're going to start right away. Thank you so much for being part of the class, and we'll say more in the group. Thank you.